Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the Early Edge. We have a ton of college basketball, a lot of marquee matchups today, a little bit of NBA, but shout out to everyone who showed up here on this Saturday morning. Respect to all of you. Let's take a quick look back at Friday here. Going to the Friday recap, a great day in golf for the team with Sia and Mike here. Overall, great day for the team. We'll try our best to do the same here. But before we do that, let's bring in the stars of the show. I brought all the right people here to get a great college basketball slate. Oh, we got the recap screen again. Here we go. Chip, how are we feeling about the slate?
We're feeling great, Kenz. I tell you what, this is the beginning of a gut check Saturday, a spray the board Saturday. I mean, you only have but so many college basketball games left on the schedule. This is when we want to dial it in. This is when we want to have no caution at this point. All gas, no brakes. Let's go.
Love the energy, Mike. I feel like internally you're probably feeling the same way. Are you?
Absolutely. It's a nice little tune-up for what we get in the rest of March Madness here too. So really the next, month and a half, just phenomenal time in sports in general. So fired up for it.
Yes, it's going to be an awesome March. We're going to start here with Mike's pick. We're going to go into the SEC here. Some conference playing for some things here. Some people are, some people aren't. Talk to us, Mike.
Yeah, we're going Tennessee, Kentucky game. Hopefully you're a SportsLine member. Got this up on the site last night and actually shared it on HQ last night as well. I played Kentucky in this matchup here at 9.5. Get this in as quickly as you can. I made the number 6.5 here. I think the market ultimately closes around 7. So yeah, get it in as quickly as you can if you still want to play it. But when I had it at 9.5 and my 6.5 number in the computer, those are just drastically different numbers in a college basketball game. We talk about key numbers a lot when we bet football, whether it be college or NFL, but the 6.5 to the 9.5 that I got, just a massive range of key numbers in competitive basketball games like this. You mentioned some of the motivation here. There's obviously always motivation when you're playing a rival. Tennessee, it is senior night for them. However, they've already locked up the number 1 seed in terms of, or they've already locked up the conference the conference in the SEC. So there's not a lot to play for there. However, Kentucky has a ton to play for because if they win this game, they control their destiny. They get the double bye in the SEC tournament next week in Nashville. I think that is extremely important to them. But when you look at what Tennessee does, they're a really great basketball team that plays with pace. Kentucky, one of the fastest teams in the country, get up and down, but they are improving on the defensive end. I think they're hitting the stride at the right time, and it's so difficult to blow them out just because of how they play and the style that they play, how good they are offensively. They are the better free throw shooting team in this matchup as well. I'm not saying they're going to win this one outright, but I think we get another very, very competitive game here. So I took the points with Kentucky.
All right. I like that play a lot here. I think that is a very, very large spread for a team like that. And if you would like to put some money on Mike's play here, you can do it at BetMGM here. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $5 and you will receive $150 instantly in bonus bets, regardless of your wager's outcome, with bonus code EDGE150. That is EDGE150. All right. Before we get into the rest of it, let's hear a word from one of our sponsors.
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
All right, we have a lot more college basketball to get through. Before we get to that, I'm going to take us into the association here for a second. A little more of my bread and butter here. We're going to get a plus money play here. Brandon Miller over 2.5 made threes today. I like this because it's plus money. The SportsLine model projects him to have 3.7 here. He's been consistently shooting 7+ 3-point attempts, so that's what I really like to look at. I like here. The Nets on the road also allowing 40% 3-point shooting. And then Miller also himself is averaging somewhere around 2.5, just above 2.5 at home. So again, I think this is a good get right spot for him. I think Charlotte can cover this game pretty handedly as well, but just a great little player prop there. All right, enough about the NBA. I know that's not what we're all here for. Chip, bring us home. I know we got a lot today. Take it away.
Yeah. We got a little 3-pack for you right now. We're going to start with Marquette laying a short number at Xavier because I think that the market is overreacting to the absence of Tyler Kolek because we have seen a couple losses. But when you really dive into the performances, this is a Golden Eagles team under Shaka Smart that still has been very competitive. I mean, they played Creighton. They played UConn. No shame in those L's, especially without the reigning Big East Player of the Year. Who do they still have? They still got Oso Ighodaro. They still got Cam Jones, Stevie Mitchell. They still got players that are better than most of the players on Xavier's roster. So we will take Marquette and we will lay the 2.5 at Xavier. Okay, now we're going into Kansas and Houston. And you remember the first time these two teams played, the Jayhawks won by 13 in Allen Fieldhouse. Now they find themselves as an 8.5-point underdog. I understand Houston is a worthy favorite, but I think there's a matchup advantage that still exists. In the first game, I mean, Kansas was lights out offensively, like 1.2 points per possession, shooting like 60-something% from the field. They won't do that in the Fertitta Center, that's for sure. But you think about that matchup, Hunter Dickinson, Johnny Furphy, they've got versatile mobile bigs that can stretch out that Houston defense, be able to open up lanes, and Bill Self, one of the best in the whole daggum country in terms of being able to scheme up some easy offensive buckets. Also, low possession game, big spread, quality team. Hey, give me the dog. And finally, oh boy, I'm going to eat it right here because I was on CBS Sports HQ with Mackenzie Brooks, and I was talking reckless about the Creighton Jays. And here I am taking Creighton at Villanova to cover this short number because this is heavy vibes. And let me tell you about it. Number one, there was a lot of chatter within the industry about the future of Creighton head coach Greg McDermott beyond this season if they could not get an extension done. McDermott had demands based on the success that he had. Creighton, not exactly, one of these SEC Big Ten schools with loads and loads of money to throw at coaches. So it was a little bit of a sticky situation. Would we see McDermott, after all these years, leave Creighton? Well, what do we get this year? Looks like the agents and the school and everybody got it ironed out, which means we've got a head coach with a clear head, no longer worried about the future. Speaking of vibes and speaking of the first meeting, it was supposed to be Dougie McBucket's day. Doug McDermott, Greg's son, one of the best players in Creighton history. They retired his jersey back in December against Villanova, and Villanova was disrespectful of the moment, took down Creighton, upset loss for the Jays in overtime. So Creighton, we no longer have the drama of the contract extension. We also want to get revenge for ruining Dougie McBucket's big day. Give me the Jays, the short number in Philly. I know I was talking reckless about them as a national championship contender, but I have confidence in them winning here on this Saturday.
I love it. Chip, you really get me fired up for the weekend, okay? Now I'm feeling like alive. That's really waking me up. I like it. I love Creighton. I love Creighton. They're my darling here. All right, that got me so pumped up for March Madness. So let's hear a little bit about Selection Sunday.
Who's in? Who's out? Let the madness begin. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Before we get to the recap screen, I got to give a shout out to Dustin in the chat. Someone put their entire paycheck on Capella Assist last night because of me, and that was a big sweat. Actually, it wasn't even a sweat, but we are so close to turning $20 into $500. We just need one more plus money play. So if anyone on Twitter wants to give me any suggestions about how we turn this into $500, I am all ears. It should be exciting. All right, enough of that. It is Saturday. Everyone's got to get out of here and enjoy their weekend. Let's take a look at the recap screen. I am on Brandon Miller, over 2.5, 3 points made at plus 110. Mike is on Kentucky, plus the 9.5 against Tennessee. Chip is on Marquette, minus the 2.5. Kansas, plus the 8.5. And Creighton in the basically a pick'em against Villanova in Philly. All right, guys, that's all we have time for today. We are in and out of here on a Saturday. Everyone's got places to be. So good luck with your guys' bets today. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys Monday.